Hey guys, sorry, no joke today. As you can hear, my voice is pretty messed up, and I'm not in the greatest mood today anyway. I don't, my buddy Jimmy's not talking to me. Um, the other day, he caught me sniffing his wife's panties, which, I mean, come on, guys. You get it, right? So, I mean, I don't know if he's mad because his whole family was there or if because she was still wearing them. I don't know. But in my defense, it was hotter than hell in that church, and she had been in there for hours, so they smelled just, oh, chef's kiss. Um, but either way, he said I mean, I think he's overreacting. But he told me it ruined his son's baptism, so I don't know. I don't know what his problem is, but anyway, what's up, weirdos? Thanks again for visiting the channel. As always, I appreciate it. If this is your first time to the channel, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the content. Excuse me. Again, please forgive my voice. I've been sick the last few days, and I still feel pretty shitty. But I'm trying to get some content out there. Despite that fact. Just to introduce myself, my name is Scott. My pronouns are thee, thy, and thou. My identify as a excuse me octopi porcupine. Please do not dead name me. I don't know what that means, but it sounds scary. And today, real quick though, if you would do me a favor, just follow me on Instagram. Let's underscore do it up on Instagram. LETS underscore DOITUP on Instagram. I always have to leave an extra pause just so that people don't think I'm telling them that they have to pee on Instagram. Email, if you want to send a knife or knives into the channel for review, please just send me an email at letsdiu79@gmail.com. letsdiu79@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll send you my shipping address. Send me the knife or knives. I will spend a week or two with them, review them, and send them back to you. And today, a very exciting day today, guys. I'm going to be reviewing these two knives, the CGRB Hectare and the CGRB Frac. This one is a stainless steel liner, axis lock G10 scale flipping opening hole, whatever you want to call that thing. So that's the only method of deployment for this guy, unless you want to use the axis lock to deploy it, which you can do, but it takes a little bit of practice to figure out how to do it. So I don't know if you guys are in practice with that yet or not, but if you are and you win this knife, you'll be very, very excited. And this one is just a simple stainless steel frame stainless steel frame button lock, which has some milling on the outside of the stainless steel. I'll go over all this stuff. I'm going to review both of these knives. I am going to start with the bigger one just for fun, because I didn't, have a preference one way or the other with those. But just to get into the review, let's do it up, y'all. I will review these real quick, upload the video, and then tomorrow, once everyone has had about 24 hours to comment on this video, leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, but that is not a requirement. Just leave a comment in the video, and I will be live tomorrow evening just to do a quick drawing, a random YouTube comment search to pick the winners for these two knives. So first, I'm starting with the CGRB Frac. Now, CGRB is a company that is pretty much the same as Civivi, but it's just under Artisan Cutlery instead of Civivi knives. WE knives. Civivi is under WE knives, and CGRB is under Artisan Cutlery. Pretty much the same quality, same prices, same everything, except for the same designs. Excuse me. But this is a larger knife, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 9 inches overall. I'm going to say between 8.75 and 9 inches for the full length of this knife. As you can see, you've got about a 4-inch blade here with about, with this generous finger choil here, I'm going to say this is about 3.3 3.3, 3.4 inches, somewhere between there. So it's between 3.25 and 3.5 inches. We have a flat ground blade here with a flat that carries out to about, I'm going to say 65, 70% the length of the blade. And you have a swedge here that starts at about 30, 40% the length of the blade and comes all the way out to about 90% the length of the blade. You do have quite a large opening hole here. You've got the CGRB symbol there, and you've got a little bit of jimping on the spine of the blade here. On the other side, it just says AR RPM 9 with the serial number of the blade. I'm not sure why CGRB is still doing that. It just seems like a waste of time and energy to put the serial number on there. If you need to put the steel number, the steel name on there, that's fine. But AR RPM 9 is not exactly something that people are going to be showing off. I don't mean that as it's not a good steel. I mean just it's pretty common throughout the knife community, especially obviously with these knives because it's proprietary steel. But they've been making all of their knives with this for quite some time, so I'm just saying there's nothing super duper excited about it. So I'll give you a quick view of the blade itself. Got a little bit of hair there, sorry, some fingerprints, but it's got a very good factory edge on it. The grind is very nice. I like the way they did that for sure. You can see that there's just I don't want to say reflective, but a shiny stone wash on this guy. A little bit of reflection, but not mirror polished, obviously. This obviously is running on bearings. You've got a T8 pivot here with the button lock or plunge lock, however you want to call that. And as you can see here, it's that's where it's locking up into the tang of the blade there. There are two other standoffs on this guy, basically just barrel spacers with screws on each side. You do have a lanyard hole here and a little bit of milling on the outside here just to give you a little bit of smoother surface when you're holding on to this knife. You don't have to worry about lock side access just because obviously this is a button lock, but as you can see here, there is quite a bit of milling. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but there is quite a bit of milling in there on that stainless steel, making this a relatively lightweight knife. We will go over that here in just a minute. The pocket clip here obviously is stainless steel, just your standard CGRB pocket clip that they've used for years and years and years. Nothing special about that either. And as you can see, the action here is pretty good. It's a relatively heavy blade, so that's obviously going to fall down pretty easily. But very easy to access. The opening hole here, very well-tuned detent, and the button lock works very, very well on this guy, as you can see. As you can see, it falls down pretty readily, pretty heavily, so make sure your fingers are out of the way when you disengage the button lock on this guy for sure. I'll do a couple of size comparisons. First, we're going to go with the Rat Model 1 and the Rat Model 2. The Rat Model 1, I forget you can't reverse flick this guy. The Rat Model 1, I think, is going to be just a little bit shorter than this knife, but I could be wrong. Yeah, just a little bit shorter than this knife. So this definitely makes the Rat 1 look like a full-size knife, but a little smaller than it actually is. And then you've got the Rat 2, which is obviously going to be dwarfed by the Frac, 100%. Next up, we have the RSK MK1 G2 Ritter Hogue's version of the Benchmade Griptilian. Obviously going to be a little bit shorter than the Frac, and the AD 20.5 obviously is going to be quite a bit shorter than the Frac there. And last but certainly not least, the Paramilitary 2 obviously is going to be a little bit shorter than this knife, and the Para 3 obviously is going to be quite a bit smaller than the Frac. Carry profile compared to the Para 3. The Frac is going to obviously be a little bit thinner. Yeah. So that's a little bit thinner than the Paramilitary 3. But the height I don't think is going to be quite as high or quite as tall as the Para 3 here. Yeah. Alright, yeah. Nowhere near as tall as the Para 3. So it'll do pretty good in the pocket, I think. It's going to be a little longer than a lot of people are accustomed to, but if obviously if you're somebody who is used to carrying bigger knives or something like that, this is definitely going to be right up your alley. Let me get you a blade, stock thickness, and a weight on this guy. sure we're zeroed out. Still on pounds and ounces. Fan-freaking-tastic. 5.1 ounces. Yeah, so 5 ounces. That's pretty good for a stainless steel knife, especially with this size. I think 5 ounces is pretty spectacular for that. I'm not gonna knock it. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I really do feel like shit today. All right, let's get you the blade stock thickness for this guy. Make sure that's zeroed out. And can I get a thickness? 125 thousandths. That's pretty good. I'm gonna call that, yeah, 125 thousandths. So that's a pretty thin blade stock for a knife this large. And it's definitely very, very comfortable. You can see with this oversized forward finger choil here, you can kind of choke up on the knife. You've got this jimping here to keep your thumb in place, and you can even choke up a little further if you need to. Pinch grip on this guy is fantastic, especially with this finger choil here. You can get right up underneath that choil there and just use this for quite a bit of control. Lots of stabbing and down stabbing, lots of that. I'm just kidding. So yeah, this is a great knife, I think, for everyday carry, especially if you like to carry a bigger knife. It doesn't necessarily have to be heavy or you know, overbuilt like a Cold Steel, have the triad lock on it or anything like that. I think this would be a pretty good work knife. It's definitely something you can just open up, take out, open up, use it, close it, and put it back into your pocket. I'm trying not to sound boring here, guys. I'm sorry. Just having a really fucking hard time. So I love the frag patterning on this stainless steel scale here. Actually, it's on both sides. I'm sorry. But the way they did that's very, very good. I kind of wish it was contoured a little better or at all, but it's not. But that's okay. Obviously, you can see this pocket clip is reversible. So this is a truly ambidextrous knife because if you do have it left-handed, you can still flip it out with this flipper tab, and then it's actually easier to use a flipper tab for somebody who is left-handed anyway, so because you don't have to kind of reposition your thumb and get it back into the position to unlock the knife. So I see that as a plus. Obviously, you've got a stop pin here. I don't think there's any... I mean, there's a tiny bit of shouldering on here, but it's kind of marginal. I mean, it's not enough to really say that it's shouldered. You saw the way that it locks up on that stop pin there, and then it also locks it up on the tang there with that button lock. I already showed you all of the milling on the inside. Pocket clip is not too grabby. It's not terrible, and this milling is smooth enough that I think it shouldn't be too big of a problem on your jeans if you are using this in and out of your pocket constantly. Let me see here. Is there anything else to say about this knife? No left, right, up, or down blade play. It is locking up completely securely. Let's see centering here. Centering looks good. All right. And lockup percentage doesn't count. So yeah, I think that's it for this one, guys. Thank God they have a lanyard hole on this guy. I don't know what we would have done without that. But yeah, I think this is a winner. I like it a lot. I hope whoever wins this will be happy with it. I'll be giving this away tomorrow. Next knife up is the CGRB Hectare. A little bit of a smaller knife, but from the same company, different materials. Obviously, you've got the G10 scale here. Very easy to open, very easy to disengage. Fantastic action. You can theoretically thumb flick this, but it's not a comfortable thing to do. It's a little bit awkward. So if you haven't practiced, I wouldn't try it because you're going to end up flipping the blade out just enough to push your thumb down on it. So I wouldn't do that. The reverse flick also takes a little bit of practice to get used to, but once you are used to it, it's a very easy knife to manipulate. So this just being a smaller knife for me, it is a little more difficult. So I just wanted to mention that right off the bat. Excuse me. So, like I said, a little bit of a smaller knife here. We are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 point, just a hair over 7.25 inches overall, with a overall blade length, I'd say of between 3 inches and 3.25 inches, and then the cutting edge itself is going to be looks like 2.75 inches. There is a finger choil here, as you can see, flat grind, almost a full flat grind all the way to the top, which is fantastic for a blade stock thickness like this. It's a little bit of a thinner blade stock, so you get a nice thin cutting edge down here, which is fantastic. Satin finish, obviously that looks very nice. CGRB right there, opening hole here, and you've got a swedge that kind of looks like, I can't tell if it starts like right here or if it starts all the way back here. It looks like it starts all the way back here. So the swedge looks like it starts all the way in the back and then carries out to about 75% the length of the blade. On the other side, there's not a whole hell of a lot else going on, just the serial number and AR RPM 9 for the steel. You know, this is a really nice blade shape, nice blade profile. I really like it. We'll go over the blade stock here in just a little bit. Jimping on the top, on the spine of the blade, and a nice factory edge here. This has not been used yet. I just bought it and, you know, unboxed it, and now I'm reviewing it so that I can send it out to whoever wins it. This is running on bearings, G10 scales, T10 pivot, looks like T8 hardware on the body screws, and then a T6 screws for the pocket clip, which is just another stainless steel pocket clip, nothing fancy. G10 scales on the other side. This is an axis lock, which I like CGRB's version of the axis lock. It's got very snappy action, and it flies right back down into the handle with no problem whatsoever. The action on this guy is really, really good, nice and smooth. It's not, you know, it's not super duper stiff like a Benchmade can be. These ones just fall straight back down into the handle if you keep the lock disengaged, unless you have it pulled all the way back. Then the knife won't go all the way back into the handle there. Good centering here, you can see that. And blade play, no left, right, up, or down blade play. And you got a stop pin here, and then obviously the axis lock there. You do have a little bit of, actually quite a bit of milling on the inside there. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to kind of get a good angle on it for you so that you can see the milling on the inside of those scales, but they do have nested stainless steel liners in there with just a couple of standoffs and a lanyard hole here for you lanyard hole people. The pocket clip is reversible, so this is a truly ambidextrous knife. It's also, in my opinion, the perfect size roughly for everyday carry, especially for a novice or somebody who hasn't been carrying a knife for very long. This is a perfect knife for that. Okay, let me just do some quick size comparisons with this guy. We're going to do the Rat Model 1 again, Rat Model 2 again, just in case you just got here or fast forwarded or what the hell ever. Obviously, the Rat Model 1 is going to be quite a bit larger than this knife. It's going to be much closer to the size of the Rat Model 2. The Rat Model 2 is just a little bit shorter than the Hectare. Next up is the RSK MK1 G2. Doug Ritter's version of the Benchmade Griptilian. That's going to be just a little bit longer than the Hectare. The 8020.5 is going to be just about, it's a little bit longer. I thought it was going to be closer to the same size, but it's a little bit longer than the Hectare. So even the 20.5 is a little bit bigger than the Hectare there. Last but certainly not least, you've got the Paramilitary 2, which is obviously going to be just a little bit larger than the Hectare, and the Para 3, which obviously is going to be just a little bit shorter, just by a hair though. So just about the same size as the Paramilitary, as the Para 3. I don't know why I keep calling it the Paramilitary 3 all the time. Size or carry profile compared to the Para 3, the Hectare I think is pretty close to the same. It's a little bit thinner than the Para 3 is. And as you can see, obviously, going to be nowhere near as tall as the Para 3. So this is pretty good in the pocket. Nice lightweight knife. Let's find out exactly how lightweight it is. Oh, God, guys, I feel like shite. I feel like a bag full of greasy assholes. I smell like a hot bag of dicks. Okay, let's see here. 2.7 ounces. That is ultra light, in my opinion. Obviously, with this being G10 stainless steel liners, it's going to be quite a bit lighter, but the size is helping as well. I don't know why that turned off, so let me just double check. 2.7, yeah, 2.7 ounces, 2.7 ounces. That looks fantastic. So that's a nice lightweight knife, easy to carry, nice in the pocket. Let's get a blade stock for you. I'm gonna call this 125, maybe 130. Ooh, I was way off. So 106, I'm gonna call that 105 thousandths. But yeah, approaching TRM thickness there, which is fantastic. Nice slicey blade, a little bit taller for the size of knife, which that's fine. I don't see a problem with that at all. But yeah, is there anything else to tell you about this particular knife? It's comfortable in the hand, especially with that choll there. Nice, good tight grip on it, not too much of a hot spot from that pocket clip. Nice length on the handle, so you do have quite a bit of gripitude there. The G10, this is Peel Ply G10, so nice and grippy. I love Peel Ply G10. I like Spyderco's the best, but Peel Ply G10 in general is pretty good. Both of these knives are brand new, so I just kind of received them, showed them off a little bit, then now I'm reviewing them, and I'm going to give them away. So I'm going to keep doing this every couple of weeks. There will be giveaways just for budget knives, and then every once in a while, once I get something else in my collection that's a little bit more expensive that I kind of want to just pass on to somebody else, I'll do that as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck with the giveaway on this one, everybody. I hope it is everything you ever dreamed of. But stay up, weirdos. Take it easy. Bye.